Hi guys, I just want to start a video by saying I'm not too bothered about how many subscribers I get, how many likes I get, how many views I get, or if I get any likes or any subscribers, because I'm more focused on about helping people with emetophobia, helping people understand what emetophobia is, helping people understand for their friends, just so people can know what it is. I will start off by saying emetophobia is a very physical anxiety disorder. It's the 5th most common anxiety disorder in the world. It affects nearly every area of your life. For me, it affects school. I've missed a lot of school. When I'm out of school, it's really hard for me to stay in school. It's just not nice. Emetophobia is a fear of being sick. It's not just like, oh, she's scared of being sick. It's a fear. It physically makes me feel sick, worrying about how much I don't want to be sick. Say I was in school, I would just constantly be thinking, if I'm sick, what will people think? Will they judge me? So that's when a cycle comes in. There's a cycle of 5 stages: trigger, mental movie, physical anxiety, fight or flight, and correction. So what I mean by trigger is, say I was in school and someone said to me, oh, I feel so sick, or they said, I think I'm going to be sick, or, oh, do you hear that girl? She looks well ill today, or something like that. I would then worry that they're going to be sick, then I'm going to be sick, then everyone's going to look and everyone's going to judge me. So then, that's when the next one comes, that's trigger. Then the mental movie comes in, is where I would picture everything happening. I'd picture someone being sick, then I would be sick, then everyone would judge me. Then that's where it comes, the physical anxiety comes in, where it physically makes me feel sick, physically makes me feel like I'm going to throw up. And then comes the fight or flight. So I'd either push and make myself go to that lesson and just be like, what happens, happens, or I avoid it. I'm like, no way is that happening to me. No way am I going to make a fool of myself. I'm not going to that lesson. I'm not going to school because I just can't make a fool of myself. So I would say, and then that's when correction comes in. I would say correction is the most important one, because if we didn't correct, we would just be like doing the cycle over and over again, and then it's just never going to get better. So I've been battling with emetophobia for, I would say, a couple years now, but I was diagnosed with emetophobia for 4 months. I'd say when I started year 7, I started feeling sick, sweaty palms, just anxious. I thought generally, oh, I'm new, I'm just worried that, because it's secondary school, I'm in the new year, I just was worried about what people above me would say and all of that. So I generally just thought, oh, it's normal because I'm year 7. And then I'd say in year 8, I was kind of more feeling sick, more like worse. But I thought it's because I had my injections halfway through year 8. So I was like, oh, that's natural. I'm just a bit worried about my injections in year 8. There's nothing to worry about. So I was constantly pushing it back to the back of my mind, thinking there's nothing wrong, it's just normal. I would say towards the end of year 8, the start of year 9, that's when it hit me the worst. I just couldn't go in school. I kept coming home. I thought, what is wrong with me? I was like, seriously? Because I was so ill. And I thought, right, this isn't right. So I told my mum, and she said, oh, that sounds like anxiety, because what was happening was I was going to school and then feeling sick, feeling like I was going to throw up, coming home, and then when I came home, I was absolutely fine. I was at home, I was in my bedroom having fun. Well, I wasn't having fun, but I was feeling better. I was outside and it was all good. That's what confused me the most, because I thought, no, when you're ill, when you have a tummy bug, you're ill. You don't get better later on. You're ill for the amount of time that you're ill, and then when you're better, that's when you're completely better. That didn't happen with me. I was ill at school, fine at home, ill at school, fine at home, and it was just so confusing. So that's when my mum explained to me, oh, that sounds a lot like an anxiety disorder. So I was like, yeah, that is what an anxiety disorder sounds like. It just ticked all the boxes. So I was like, right, that's fine. So my mum took me to the doctors and they referred me to CAMHS, but I just hated the experience of it. So we went to a different doctor and she kind of hypnotised me so that she could reprogram my brain and all of that. And then I went to another doctor and I met Sharon, and she explained that emetophobia is the 5th most common, and that It's just a very, very physical anxiety disorder. That it's normal that I feel sick at school. It's normal that I may feel sick going to a restaurant. It's normal that I may feel sick going out with my friends. Emetophobia, it takes over your life. It's like you're in a box and you're very secluded. Emetophobia stopped me from doing a lot of things. It stopped me from going to sleepovers. It stopped me from going to restaurants. It stopped me from going to roller coasters. It stopped me going water slides. I was even planning out my life so that I wasn't sick. I was thinking I'm not going to get pregnant, because when you're pregnant you get morning sickness. I was planning everything so that just to stop myself from being sick. But it was getting too much. Halfway through year 8, well no, I would say, yeah, the start of year 9 is where I was planning everything out. I was like, right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to not do this, I'm going to do that to avoid it. But I'd say halfway through year 9, I just couldn't do it anymore. It was too much. So that's when I thought, I need to take control of this now, because I'm not planning out my life. I want to be going on school trips, going out of restaurants with my family. I want to be going on water slides, having fun with my friends. But I just couldn't do it because I was so anxious and I was so fragile that I was going to be sick, and so anxious I was going to be sick. It just wasn't good. So I would say, but how I took control was I started writing in a journal. I started writing stories. When I was at Sharon, my doctor, who explained it all to me, I was having a nice time with her. But emetophobia is going to be with you for the rest of your life. It's not going to get better overnight. It's not going to be 10 years later and you're going to be fine. It's going to be with you your whole life. But what we need to focus on is how we're going to cope with it for the rest of our lives, how we're going to deal with it, how we're going to live with it, because we can't be like this. We can't be secluded in a box. I would say emetophobia for me would be like I'm in a box, and every time I wanted to leave the box, it was kind of telling me, no, don't leave the box, because if you leave the box, this is what's going to happen. If you go there, this is what's going to happen. If you do that, this is what you're going to happen. So you just want to stay in the box. And I was so fragile at that stage, I just was like, yeah, I don't want to do that because that will happen to me. And I was just so worried. I just didn't take control. But I did take control. I would say a couple of months ago, I had enough. I was like, it's been 2 years, it's been a while, and I have let this take over, and I'm not doing it anymore. So I'll say a couple of months ago, I started writing, like I said, doing journals, and I went to Sharon this one time, and she said there was no support groups in Wiltshire or Hampshire for people with emetophobia under the age of 13. And I was like, that's not fair, because I'm 13, and I'm nearly 14, but there's no support groups for the people under the age of 16. I was like, that's not fair. So what we both decided was, right, let's create a support group, and let's do it for the people, teenagers the age of under 16. So I went away and I thought, right, I'm going to start a YouTube channel just so people can understand a bit about emetophobia. People can understand what I go through and see if that's what they feel, or if they think they have emetophobia, see if that's so they can understand how I feel and think, nah, I don't feel like that. Or yeah, I do feel like that. I want to reach out to her. So I thought I'd make a Facebook page, just my support group, so that people can directly message me, ask me how I cope with it, or just ask if they want to meet up, or ask if they what timings and where the support group is, and basically just get all the information. So I thought I'll do it first on YouTube, and then I'll do every little bit after. I'm speaking as if I don't feel ill. No, I do. I feel ill constantly, every day, exhausted. I'm so tired. Sometimes I'll go to sleep at like 6 in the afternoon, wake up at like 2 in the afternoon. But that is if I'm bad. It's a horrible thing to have. It's a horrible disorder to have. It's sneaky. When you think you've got control of it, it just comes back and it's like, nope, I've got control of you. And then it just tears you down. You have a relapse. Then you have to come back, and you come back stronger. Well, I will explain later on in my videos how I've coped with it. Later on in my videos how I've gone to school, how I feel at school, how I feel at home, how I feel going out in public places, how I feel going out with my friends. I'll explain that all in later videos, but this one video was particularly just me explaining what emetophobia is, so that people who watch this then can go back and think, that's how I feel, that's not how I feel. I want to watch more of her videos because that's how I'm feeling, or I don't want to watch anymore because I know I haven't got that. So like I said at the start of the video, I'm not too bothered about if I get any subscribers, if I get any views, if I get any likes, any comments, because I'm not here for like a fashion vlog or like a makeup vlog. I'm just here to help people with emetophobia so I can reach out to people like me. So I just wanted to make this one video about it all. So hopefully people do reach out to me, and hopefully people do come to my support group, because it's important. It takes over your life. It is quite hard to accept the fact that you have emetophobia, because it's not a well-known anxiety disorder. People will just refer to how I feel as anxiety. People might just refer to me as, oh, she just has anxiety, she just has a little fear. But it's hard, because every little thing is attached to emetophobia. Every tiny little thing. Like, you wouldn't think it. Going to sleepovers, I never used to do that, because I used to get worried I was going to be sick in someone else's houses. Never used to go on motorslides, not because I didn't like them, because I was worried that I would go too fast and it made me sick. Roller coasters, too fast and it made me sick. Go on the trampoline, didn't want to do anything because it made me sick. Going to the restaurant, in case the food is uncooked, I'll get ill. I'll get food poisoning. Wouldn't do little things. It's all linked to emetophobia. You don't think it. You think, oh, that's normal, I don't like that. It's normal, I don't like that. No, it is all linked. It's completely linked, because it's the 5th most common. It's quite common, but no one refers to it as emetophobia. But I just wanted to make this video, this first video, because there is going to be more. I just wanted to make this first video of me basically explaining what it is, how I cope, well, not how I coped, what it is, and explaining to you guys. So the next videos to come, I will explain how I coped with it. So hopefully, I will see you guys another time.